What's on with the YouTube? Today we are reacting to black parents' obsession with low haircuts. Now I'm not gonna lie, I definitely think that this is definitely a canon event for every young black boy in America. Because I think that every black kid in America, well not even black kid, black boy in America has went to the barbershop and their dad has forced them to get a one all around, which is quite honestly one of the most diabolical haircuts ever. And yeah, some of you are probably wondering, did I have one? Of course I did. Everybody did. It wasn't just me. Everybody I knew had to get these haircuts. These are my cousins, by the way. But these are just a few of my cousins. I'm not going to show y'all my whole family tree. But yeah, we all had to get these haircuts. And guess what? One day, I begged my parents to let me grow out my hair a little bit. And they said, oh, okay. Then they gave me a Boosie fade. Y'all, hey, mama, if y'all watching this, y'all are so diabolical for giving me a Boosie fade. I wanted to, bro, you know what's so crazy, bro? I wanted to grow out my hair so bad. And this was the only compromise that I could get. Real life a Boosie fade, bro. I ain't gonna lie though, I was rocking that mud though. I mean, can you really name a cleaner Boosie fade than mine, bro? Like, come on, man. You heard what Boosie says? You gotta line it up right. You gotta shape it up right. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I did go through that pain, and I ain't gonna lie. The funniest part about it now is that every single one of my cousins, we all have dreads now, and I always wondered, is that a result of us all having low haircuts when we were kids? I don't know if there's any correlation there. It's probably not, but I do wonder sometimes. Anyway, let's not yap too much, and let's get into the video. Let's leave a like. This video is by Prince Henry.
So, in this video, I want to answer the question of why are parents, specifically black parents, so obsessed with low haircuts?
Jacking it right now, bro. What's funny, bro? Get out my face with that camera shit, bro. What's funny, bro? Bro, my mom forced me to do that shit. If it wasn't for my mom, bro, I would not do that shit, bro. Mom, y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You don't know pain until your parent make you cut your hair off, bro. Like, that happened to me one time, bro. I think I was in like 7th grade. I had the like little nappy fro that was popular at the time, and of course, because I didn't take care of my hair eventually locked. And once my hair was locked, oh, it was a wrap. My dad made me go to the barbershop like the next week and cut it all off, and I was looking straight like this.
With dreads, don't respect y'all
with the
mom,
same
bro. That's
explanation,
what it is, bro. My mom told me to cut my hair. I'm cutting my hair. Like,
man, say trust the process.
Since my process didn't work, I'm about to make every dreadhead shot. I'm dreadhead K now. All dreadheads, nigga. I'm not jacking that shit. We back to wave gang. Every dreadhead ass shit, I'm on that. I'm cutting their hair. Y'all don't respect y'all moms. That's what it is, bro. Oh, yo, bro.
So if you black, at some point, someone told you need to cut your hair. You spent a couple months growing it. You know, it take a while to get some length on your hair, and as soon as you get a little bit of length on your hair, your parent tell you you need to cut it, or you need to do something with your hair, or you can't have it out, and they give you this bald haircut or this low haircut that you have to stick with. And it really sucked because you be trying to grow it out to try to get, you know, whatever the most in style haircut at the time. And this is a common thing. A lot of black men experience this, or black boys experience this. I'm sure some of y'all probably watching this, experiencing this right now, where you're in the house and you can't grow your hair out because your parents not going for it.
Yo, is that doula? Yo, what happened to your hair? You got them braids?
Yeah, I got them braids.
Let me see it. Let me see.
Hey, you know, that is the worst part about your parent forcing you to cut your hair too, bro. When you go to school, bro, everybody gonna be joking on you, bro. I remember when I cut my hair off, when my dad made me cut my hair off, bro, everybody was making fun of my head shape and all type of stuff. It didn't help that when I cut my hair off, my hair was kind of lopsided too, because the way the hair had locked up. But they was joking on me the whole day. It's like my dad wanted me to get bullied. I don't understand.
Alright, bro.
Oh, God! What happened, bro?
just felt like it was time, bro.
Fuck you, mean it was time. You bro, get too much hair, nigga. Nah, look at the sun shining on your head. Nah, bro, what was the real reason? Cause I know you didn't cut your hair off, bro.
Because of my parents, bro. I ain't have no choice in the matter. It's either that or I'm gonna be out on the streets. And shit, I'm broke.
What happened to the dreadhead journey?
Man, forget that, bro. I'm on a wave journey, bro.
Nah, they really nerfed you, bro.
Man, just give me a few months, bro. I'm gonna be spinning, bro. Man, it don't matter for real, cause I'm gonna still get more women than y'all niggas with dreads.
Yeah, alright. Yo, damn, you look like Slender Man tonight, boy. Wait, hold on, what you doing? Yo.
So a lot of times they'll say you can't have your hair out because it's not presentable, or it seems like it just seems like
I quite literally hate that old way of thinking, because don't get me wrong, there are certain hairstyles when you grow it out to a certain extent that just are not presentable, bro. Now, like wigs, and if you had your nappy fro looking all crazy like you never take care of it, never get haircuts, yes, that is not presentable. But even like dreads, kind of like how mine are, bro. You know, I try to keep a retwist. I try to keep a haircut fairly often, bro. I feel like as long as you look like you're taking care of what you have, it can be presentable. I mean, I guess even to a certain extent, wigs could be presentable, but just most people with wigs don't really get retwists like that. It ends up just looking crazy. And you know what's so crazy, bro? You know, I'm in college, and when I was going to my college open house, one of the most inspirational things I saw as a young black kid was there being a dude with dreads. And it wasn't even because he was just an excellent student or just excelling at anything, but it was just to see somebody who looked like me and looked like the way I wanted them to look. I won't even say the way I wanted them to look, but it seemed like they were staying true to themselves and still in the field that they wanted to be in. That was really inspiring to me, because I had never seen that up to that point. A doctor with dreads, you know, I've seen it a lot now since I work in the hospital, but like before, bro, that was just completely foreign to me. So anybody who's doing something and you embrace the way that you look, I hope you know how much of an inspiration you are to some people. And I always keep that in mind, especially with my hair, especially when I see like young black kids. Even it don't even have to be dudes, it could be girls, bro. Just by you embracing yourself, being the way that you are, bro, you can inspire somebody just by being like that. Do not subscribe to that mindset that you have to have that like good boy look to be successful, because that is just not true. That might have been true at a certain point in time, but in 2026, bro, that cannot be further from the truth.
it's some canon event where everybody has to go through this. I'm sure it's some people that y'all probably like, nah, I never had to go through that, but some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You just have to rock out this low haircut up until probably like high school. That's at least where it changed for me.
Dad's forcing you to get a straight buzz cut throughout your entire childhood has to be a universal experience, bro. What is their obsession with wanting you to be bald? Straight bald. Why did they want us to be chopped so bad? And then the first time you finally get the courage to be like, hey dad, can I just get the sides off and keep the top? They look at you so crazy. They'd be like, you trying to waste my money? You trying to waste my money and not get a real haircut? No, we're taking it all off. My pops used to force me to get a straight, no guard haircut. No guard on that bitch,
Man,
straight zero.
Bro, that just brought back memories, bruh. Remember when I told y'all they used to make fun of my haircut? They used to say I look like Lil Bill. They really used to call me that, bruh. And dad, if you ever watch this. You did that to me, bro. You sent me to school to get bullied. They used to call me Lil Bill.
Bro, all off, bro. I never had hair as a kid, bro. As soon as it got a little too much, my dad was like, time to cut it off. And he did it himself most of the time. Straight zero. No lineup, no nothing. Bro, don't even get me started on foreign parents. Foreign parents, they look at you crazy if you try to grow your hair out. The only way to escape...
I ain't gonna lie. I heard, like, foreign parents are way worse. I ain't gonna lie. Because I got a partner, he in college now. And his mom would not let him grow his hair out for anything. And that's like twist, braids, nothing. Keep in mind, he's 20 years old. But I mean, he still lives where, so ultimately he has to follow the rules. But that's hair, earrings, tats, all of that stuff, bro. Oh, his mom ain't going for none of that. Y'all think in-state parents could be bad sometimes? They don't have nothing on them foreign parents. I ain't gonna lie, because he was showing me some of them text messages, bro. She was not going for it.
The buzz cut is to get your own money to pay for your own haircuts, bro. That's the only way you could escape it. And even then, when they see you get the cut, they look at you like, I don't even see a cut. Bro, you see the cut, you see the side. It's like, to them, if you don't cut it all off straight to zero, you wasted your money.
Bro, I don't understand why parents do that. My dad be telling me that to this day, like, I ain't get a haircut, bro. Like, do you not see all the stuff that the barber had to do? Nothing. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he ain't had to do as much work as he would if he, like, literally cut everything off my head. But if we being realistic, a one all the way around, when you consistently get one all the way around, is not that much harder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, here you just got to do a line. But, bro, it's just a matter of them just cutting this down right here or just cutting the entire thing off, bro. Like, a one is not a hard haircut. So can we start acting like it is?
I wanted to cut it all off straight to zero. I just cut it off myself. I'll go buy the clip and do it myself. That shit is truly a canon event.
And a lot of times this conversation is tied to believing certain hairstyles will make you look ghetto or like a thug, and people are just going to stereotype you, or your parents don't want you looking like that, feeling like that. It's like it just associate long hair with some negative association with it. It's never, and when we want it, it's never about that. It's usually just like it looks cool, and that's just how we want to rock our hair. So, you know, so it could fit like the aesthetic we're trying to go for. It's never about trying to look like thugs or anything like that. But
no, I won't lie. Now, nobody has ever like told me that straight up I look like a thug because of my hair. But I'll be lying if I don't feel like I'm being stereotyped sometimes just because of the way I look. You know what I mean? And I can't even say that I've seen it like drastically increase before I got my dreads versus after I got my dreads. But I do think that this is a real thing though. I do think that there are still certain people who will look at you in certain lights if you look a certain way. But honestly, most of the time I feel like it's a trade-off, you know, like you got dreads, low-key, I think it could be a hard sell if you got tattoos too. But honestly, like I said earlier, bro, I feel like in 2026, realistically, none of that matters. Not like it did once upon a time. But I do think in certain rooms, it will be a harder sell if you got just a whole bunch of stereotypical looking stuff going on.
Our parents always just view long hair as some type of negative connotation with that, with any hairstyle that's above 2 to 3 inches of length on my hair.
Hey man, it's a public service announcement to all the parents, my voice gone, in the world. Can we please protest against our sons with these nappy ass hair? Every day me and mama tell me, you need to cut that. You need to cut that damn hair, man. You don't take care of it. I ain't seen you wash it since you've been growing it.
Oh, and honestly, bro, and this is just my opinion on my situation. I can't speak for everybody, bro. I don't think me and like my cousin's parents made us get ones all the way around because they thought this hair made us look like ghetto or stereotypical. I legitimately think they made us cut it because at that age they knew we were not going to take care of it at all. And they were absolutely right because we weren't washing our hair. Realistically, if we grew out our hair, bro, that would just be more work for them because they would have to make sure we went to school not looking like a fool. So yeah, I don't think it was with malicious intent. Even if they did think it was, you know, a stereotypical thing, I don't think that's even with malicious intent. But yeah, I don't really think that was the reason why.
It looked like a ham full of Easter basket grass, man. You got leather hair now. You ain't watched it so long it look leather. It look like dirty trap house carpet. You gotta cut it, dog. Ain't nothing wrong with a low cut. Get you some waves or something, man. Cause that right there, man. You look like a Jackson 6. At him. But at least they had an activator.
Look how he looking at him. Bro is looking at him with so much disgust, bro. I couldn't dare look at my pops like this. He probably snatched my soul out of my body. But bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, that's really how you be feeling in the inside, bro. Cause it's like everybody love your hair but your parents, bro. I don't understand. And I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, My mom always liked my hair, but like Pops, bro, he was never with it. Never till this day. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I come to the crib tomorrow with my hair all the way cut off, my dad would probably be like, "Thank God."
Grease in their head, man. Go in there and wash it in the bathroom, school bathroom. Go wash it in the school bathroom. Do something with it. Put some snow in it, wet it. It's dry as hell. You gotta cut it. You gotta, look, you guys wanna walk off. You gotta cut that, man. All you little dudes, you YNs wanna wear these nappy old hairstyles, man. Y'all need to cut it.
The ideas of like black hair, like long black hair, not being presentable or professional is not a new thing. This isn't like an experience just for me or just our generation. Like, this has been happening for a while, and this has been passed down generation of generations, and it's coming from this idea called respectability politics. So respectability politics is basically the belief that if black people behave, look, speak, and live in ways that white society or white people consider proper, that then we will be treated with respect, safety, and equality. In simple terms, if we act right, they'll treat us right. This includes things like dressing or speaking proper English, or like, you know, if you grew up in the hood or just around black people, they'll say like, you know, talking white. This is where this kind of came from. It's also can be tied to.
Oh, yeah. And let's break that stereotype. Talking white is not a thing. You cannot talk like a color. Okay? And then if you really think about it, bro, when we say somebody is talking white, you're really putting yourself in a box, because you're saying that somebody speaking correctly and using correct grammar or using bigger words is something that we associate with white people. So if you as a black person say that another black person is talking white, you're just saying that black people are supposed to be dumb. So next time, before you say somebody is talking white, think about what you're really saying.
Being calm, polite, and non-confrontational, following rules perfectly. Basically avoiding anything that's seen as ghetto, loud, or too black. Presenting yourself as one of the good ones. And the reason this is because after slavery, black people were free. But still, we experienced things like we was lynched. We was locked out of job opportunities, where they just didn't give us jobs no matter if we was qualified or not. They locked us out of certain housings and good neighborhoods. That's with redlining. And we was locked out of educations. That's why we had to create our own colleges, our own schools. White societies basically push like ideas to other white people, stereotyping and propaganda that basically black people were violent or dirty or immoral or immature or childlike. So the black leaders of that time thought like, okay, if you're pushing all those stereotypes onto them, if we just prove that we're not that, if we prove that we're clean, we're moral, we're educated, we're respectable, they thought that white society will look at that and will have no excuse to then mistreat them. This is when respectability politics became organized and intentional. And this carried all the way into the late 1800s and early 1900s, where black churches and educators and middle-class leaders of that time pushed messages like dress modestly, or speak correctly, or avoid low behavior, don't embarrass the race. And we still have similar sayings that's been passed down from that. Like if you've heard someone being like, oh, I don't want to act up in these white folk establishments or anything like that, that's coming from direct messages from the late 1800s, early 1900s. Has been passed down generations in a way of taught on how to act around white people. Because it's basically saying like your behavior doesn't just represent you, it represents all black people. And it's put enormous pressure on individuals to change the way they are to fit in this agenda that white people deemed as the correct way to act or the correct way to behave or present yourself. And respectability politics quietly does two harmful things. It blames black people for their own oppression. Instead of blaming racist laws, police violence, or economic exclusion, it blames clothing, hair, tone, music, and attitude. It creates two different types of black people. It creates the good black people, and then it creates the bad black people. basically almost making it seem like the good ones deserve protection and the bad ones are disposable. This does not challenge racism or fight against oppression or anything at all. It just works within that system. And so, did it work? Did respectability politics get the end goal that they wanted of decreasing racism and oppression? Short answer, no. The evidence to conclude that it didn't work was that well-dressed black people were still educated, black leaders were still assassinated, respectable black professionals are still profiled when it comes to police and cut out of jobs and all these other kind of things. That's why DEI and those type of programs were implemented during the civil rights era to begin with. It's because no matter if they was qualified or they played the part, they taught the right way, they still weren't getting the best jobs or the opportunities that they should have gotten. So that's when you had the civil rights era pushing for laws to make sure those things don't happen. Respectability never stopped racism. It just shifted the blame onto black people.
Something I want black people to aggressively push away from is respectability politics, because respectability politics tells us that if we present ourselves right and how we talk, how we carry ourselves, how we behave, that somehow we're able to escape violence and racism.
Now, look, something I do want to say with that is don't get confused with being professional with trying to subscribe to respectability politics, as he calls it. Because, like, I think going to work, presenting yourself in a certain way is just the standard of a job. You don't go to work, you don't talk to your boss like you talk to your friends or you talk to your family. You just don't do that, okay? So, again, or even wearing your hair a certain way. Some people get mad and say, oh, I want to dye my hair pink. Well, look, bro, like, we all know pink is an unnatural color. And you know if you dye your hair pink, you're going to get a few weird looks. And it's going to be distracting. We all know that, okay? So, again, in saying this, I'm not saying that you should completely change who you are. And if you like it, I don't know, young boy, you like Kodak Black, don't go to work saying, oh, my favorite artist is Taylor Swift and Meghan Trainor. But don't get it confused with just acting professional, or like don't get trying to act professional confused with not being yourself, if that makes sense.
When history literally says otherwise for us. Let's not forget, Malcolm X was articulate, well-educated and polished, and yet he was killed while wearing a suit. Same thing with Fred Hampton. Young, black, educated, was creating survival programs for black people, and yet he was killed in his sleep. Let's get this out the way. No amount of conformity can help black people against systems that are built on anti-blackness. But what it can do is hurt us by making us shrink or deny pieces of our own identity to make us seem acceptable. As black people, we do not owe a simulation to anyone, because blackness is not a liability that needs to be fixed.
And I think people in my generation are starting to wake up. I've seen a lot of videos of people fighting back this idea that our hair isn't good enough, it being grown out isn't presentable or is not professional. It's people showing that that's an old way of thinking and we should be proud of our hair and love our stuff and fight back against that idea and not pushing those ideas to our kids or to the younger generation.
As a black man, you have to cut your hair to move up in this world, brother.
See what I'm saying? And you see what that say, twin? You see what that say, twin? Doctor. You see what we got on this head, bro?
World, brother.
You see what we got in this head, bro? Stop playing, bro. Like, don't tell people you gotta cut your hair and all that stuff to be successful. You feel me? That's not real. Again, I want y'all to see. You see what that say on his vest? That say doctor. You see what that is? They say they say those are dreads. You see what those are on his arms? Those are tattoos. And guess what he still is? Successful. A doctor. One of the most highly, regarded, one of the most highly praised professions in the world. You know what I'm saying? So do not think that you can't, get to a certain place because of the way you look, bro. It's possible. Okay? And even I said, certain things in reality, that's just the reality of the world. They do make you a harder sell. but don't ever think you can't do it. Popular stuff.
So being a barber on the HBCU campus, I cut a lot of people who are about to graduate. And the main thing I always hear them say is that they want to cut their hair low or they want to cut off their locks so they can have a quote unquote more professional look. Now this line of thinking is very common, especially within young black men, but it was never something that I ever really agreed with. Now I understand wanting to have your appearance a certain way because the reality of it is your appearance is the first thing that someone is going to judge you off of. But just because your hair is long doesn't mean that it's not professional. Because I know a lot of black people and people of color that are in corporate positions. They're judges, they're lawyers, they're doctors, and they have long hair, they have long locks, they have tattoos. And that just further proves to me that you can still thrive in these professional positions while still authentically being yourself. Now, if you want to cut your hair because you just want something new or you just want to change your appearance, then that's different. Because I know that if I ever get tired of having locks, then they're gonna be gone. But don't feel like you need to cut your hair in order to have a successful career.
If you are black and you cut your hair to look more professional, you would have been the best slave on the plantation. I promise you would have been Mass's favorite. Back in May of 2024, me and my homie graduated from college. He was a psychology major, I was a biology major. For 2 months straight, my homie could not get a job. He was applying for jobs online, calling jobs, matching with random people on LinkedIn. Nothing was working. One day he tells me I'm gonna cut my hair so I can look more professional. Mind you, my homie has a Michael Jackson afro. Top 3 afro in the entire Midwest. So I tell my homie, don't cut your hair, the job market just sucks right now. In July of 2024, he cut his hair. That same month, he got a job. In November of 2024, they let him go. His 4-month contract came to an end. They chose not to hire him full time. Now my homie had no job, a shitty haircut. And I love my homie, but he was looking like a milk dud with 2 brown eyes. He did all that tap dancing and they still did not hire him. Now it is October of 2025, he is a bartender. He could not get a job in psychology and he said, fuck it. Let this be a lesson, never cut your hair for a job.
And to the parents, if you're watching this video, we understand that a lot of this stuff is out of good intentions of wanting to protect your kid and making sure they have, you know, how you was taught. You was basically taught this idea, never really gave no real explanation to it. And it turned into some version of believing that what you're saying is facts in the sense of certain hair looks better or looks presentable because of what respectability politics started and what was passed down generations and what was passed down to you. And it's not fair to you either. Same way it's not fair to your kid that you push the same ideologies to. We understand you're just trying to teach us how to play the game of racism, but at the end of the day, all you're really doing is pushing an anti-blackness that was pushed onto you that could then mold into a whole generation or whole culture of people not loving themselves. And we see this with black women and not loving their hair and feeling like they have to cover it up with other people's hair. And it shows in how it morphs into just a self-hatred for things that are just in our natural state. Our hair is our most natural thing that grows out our hair and is beautiful, and we done found creative ways to make it dope. And so pushing these beliefs is just pushing anti-blackness.
And yes, I'm gonna put a bonnet on my son's head every night as he goes to sleep. Every single night. He's gonna have long hair. He's never gonna have his little Bill moment that y'all gave me, that y'all gave a lot of little black men, where y'all cut all their hair off and they was crying and begging for y'all to not cut their hair off and y'all cut it off anyway. He's never gonna have that. He's gonna have a bonnet on. He's gonna have his hair products ready. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be ready to go. We're never gonna do that little hair situation, that little, no, we're never doing that, y'all. I'm sorry, we're never doing that.
And so I understand that in this world today, racism and oppression is still a thing. It might not be overt racism, even though that's kind of changing on social media with some people, but a lot of times it is racism that is systematic. You don't really see it. It's in the system. So I do believe we have to fight back and to stop blaming ourselves for racism. Like, that has to stop. Our hair isn't the problem. The system is the problem. And that belief system is the problem. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments. How you feel about this? What's your opinion about this?
Look like he wrapping it up, bro. I love the message of that video, bro. because this is one of the main things I try to teach anybody who I mentor, bro. You could be yourself and still be successful. Like y'all saw with the doctor in that video. Dreads, tattoos. But guess what? He a doctor. Don't let them tell you that excellence has to look a certain way. Even me, bro. Dreads, you feel me? Dye my dreads, everything. About to graduate college in biology. Somebody look at me and think I ain't doing nothing with my life just because of the way I'm looking if they stereotype me. But that's not true, bro. Like, don't ever let somebody else make you think that you have to see the world through a box, because I promise you it's way bigger than that. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment your opinion about this situation, and thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.